Hello, here is Milan Fujino, and I am Brazilian, but I'm based London in the past 2 years. But I'm here to talk about my illustration, poems, and paints that try to narrate what I call the silent word, which is the word of microgestures, mannerisms, and sensibility, basically of everything that can be perceived but rarely phrased. I think in the end of the day, I really try to make what is intangible to be slightly more tangible. My art is very emotive. It comes from an organic place and it's proudly fixated in what is interior and domestic. I was raised in Brazil, and my parents are both Brazilians, but as my name already introduced, my family is very mixed, with my father's roots coming from Japan and my mother being a mix of Italian, Jewish, and Spanish immigrants that settled in Brazil more than a century ago. To be frank, I am very Brazilian in this sense, as most of Brazilians have mixed backgrounds. Beyond my ancestry, I would say that my artwork is very influenced by the place I spent my childhood. I grew up by the beach in a coastal city called Salvador, which was the first capital of Brazil, and it's a very alive and colorful cultural center, despite, of course, the structural and social problems that are still a consequence and reflect of the colonization process. Growing by the beach, water is an omni element in my life and therefore in my artwork, and it's there from the materials I use to the themes I navigate. I mainly work with watercolor, mixing it with charcoal and ink, and I really like how water has a fluid and unexpected behavior, just like emotions. But also, in that end, I just really like playing with water, I would say. All right, now I will follow to a few questions. The first one is, what is my biggest influence? It's hard to say who are my biggest influence. Both my father and my grandpa used to paint, and there are a lot of aesthetic elements from Japanese artwork presenting my paintings, but with Western themes. I believe this is why people assume my influence come from post-impressionists, impressionists like Van Gogh and Gauguin, but my main source of inspiration is actually people in their routines. I'm a big people watcher, and a lot of my paintings will try to capture those micro gestures, micro movements that express a very wide and big, intimate universe. There are, of course, artists that are very influential for me, both in visual arts and in music. In pop culture, for example, I'm a huge fan of Lana Del Rey, and I use the way that she portrays this kind of coastal California melancholy to transpose sadness in my country, contrasting with the tropical and carnival imaginarium of Brazil. I'm also a huge fan of Luisa Matsushita and here in the UK, Justine artworks. They are both singers or former singers in the case of Justine, and incredible painters. And I think both of them have a connection with nature that resonate a lot for me. Going to the third question that is linked to this one, what are you focusing on right now? So at the moment, I'm trying to explore acrylic on big canvas, doing more abstract work that remotes more to nature elements and wider sensations over the, the micro and intimate themes that I navigate in watercolor. It has been experimental, sometimes frustrating, but definitely fun process. And now going to the fourth question. What is the biggest challenge of being an artist? Besides the pragmatic financial obstacles that most of people have heard about it, I think artists often see world differently and they objectively see the world differently. Like musicians listen to things in a different form, and athletes many times capture movements more slowly. I think this impaired way of perceiving things can cause a sense of isolation and misunderstood. And also, I think in South America, there are even more barriers to make uh, a life path as an artist possible, honestly. What advice would you give you to your younger self? I think is don't think of your art as bad or good. It's not a sensible way to think about it. It's not a kind way to think about it. And it's not even an intelligent way to think about it. Going forward to the next question. Do you listen to music or have any other type of background noise while you work? Yes, I always listen to music, and it's a very powerful and elemental tool in my creative set. I think music, like fashion is a powerful tool to set your mood and to also mirror your mood. I think it's not only a way to express what you're feeling, but it's a kind of a guidance to the vibe and energy that you want to be in that day or that moment. Going to the following question, what is the best reaction someone has had to your artwork? I would say was when my therapist asked me to print one of my paintings named I Didn't Sleep This Night Neither, which in Portuguese translates to Eu também não dormi essa noite. And it talks about sharing and kind of losing contours when you share an experience. And she's the best person I would say that can understand what I was trying to grasp on that, even though that's not the main thing in my point of view about art. It's not about figuring out, it's about connecting to that. But yeah, I think this was one of the most memorable reactions someone had to my artwork. And to finish, what do you hope people take away from your artwork? Company. So, guys, this is it. Thank you for all you that survived until here. If you did it, let me know, send me a message. I'll be very happy to hear your impressions. Thank you very much.